Hey there, Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2024. And don't forget to come back on a weekly basis for weekly astrological updates as well. And if you're interested in the new daily tarot feature I've got on my playlist section, check it out. So what's going on when it comes to your May? Well, at the start of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus together in Taurus, your second house of income, employment, values, valuables, and security. And we've also got a new moon in this part of your chart on the 7th, opening up a 2-week window period for a clean slate, fresh start, new beginnings, and some kind of new professional or financial commitment that is going to be crystallizing for you. When we have this kind of combination in the second house, this is a jump up. This is a level up transit, especially when it comes to maybe your life at the office, or maybe a professional ladder that you're climbing, or anything going on where you could use a boost in your personal popularity and also enjoy a good few weeks of being a money magnet. We also have Mars in your sign all month long, and for the first half of the month, Mercury is in your sign as well. And so this is all about speed. This is all about blockbusting. This is all about eliminating things that have been maybe locking you up, bunching you up, crossing up your energies, or anything that has been maybe keeping you in a place of inertia or stasis for however long you've had to really endure it. Mars is all about knocking down walls, knocking down things that have been maybe getting in front of a personal project, a personal path, something that has been, again, keeping you stuck where you are in an environment or in a pattern. And Mercury is also going to be helping you to speed up some kind of big move or some kind of big maneuver that you have been working on trying to, well, get the ball rolling with. And with both of them together in your sign, again, because it's all about speed, it's sure to snowball and pick up the pace really quickly for you. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in the sign of Aquarius on the 2nd of May. And this is going to open up a 5-month transit, a 5-month passage in your 11th house of friendships, your support system, community, and your loftiest goals and ambitions. Now, when we have Pluto retrograde, the theme shifts to being all about excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms. And so over the course of this coming 5 months, starting on the 2nd of May, a lot of you could find yourselves in positions to, well, do a lot of replacement work, especially when it comes to maybe corners of your social life, maybe even certain connections, associations, or personal relationships, or even communities entirely, where you are swapping out or you are changing things out. You are getting a chance to have the perfect support system built around you, but there may be some things that need to go through a filtration process. And this is also a time where you might be discovering some advantageous secrets or even excavating old connections and old ideals, old dreams from your past. Just keep in mind, Pluto, direct and retrograde, is true neutral, so this can be done in a very easy and very happy way, and it can also be done in a very tumultuous way. Ride those waves. As we go into the second half of the month, Mercury moves on into Taurus, which is that second house of income, employment, values, and valuables. And this is speeding up your climb on the professional ladder, whatever is going on, however you are employed or however you are working. And this is also a time where things that maybe have fallen behind in terms of financial plans or financial progress, that's going to also be picking up in terms of its efficiency and starting to not only catch up for time lost, but also get ahead for plans that you've already set for maybe the rest of May and even going on into June. Things are getting moved up a notch. The Sun and Venus are moving into Gemini, which is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, helpful third parties and allies. And so you're going to want to also be ready to welcome some helping hands into things that you've been doing maybe solo, or maybe things that you've only been working with a select group of help with. With Venus and the Sun together in the third house, this is a time of hookups. It's matchmaking opportunities. This is going to be people helping you to accomplish your goals or even find things that you're looking for you. And it's a beautiful time for, again, a lot of you to enjoy a stronger network and a stronger community of support. We also have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, which is in your 9th house, of expansion, of growth, of big moves, big travel opportunities, long-distance connections, long-distance communications, and anything relating to government or legal matters, or even your spiritual path and practice. And so in the 2-week window period following the 23rd, a lot of you are going to be getting a chance to close up a story or close up some kind of situation that has been maybe set or stuck in the past, or that has been maybe operating because of a past decision, or held up because of an old agreement, old contract, or old commitment. This is also a time where some of you could be getting ready to get on the road or close the distance between you and something that you would like to have as a greater presence in your life, whether it is a person, or it's a trip, it's a location, again, big moves, big travel opportunities, or maybe things that you're looking to do to expand your horizons, right? Get yourself out of your bubble. That's what, from May 23rd and the following 2 weeks after that, that's what that's all about. And finally, we also have Jupiter entering Gemini on the 25th of the month. And this is starting up a beautiful transit for your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, and contracts, and helpful third parties and allies. Because Jupiter, the luck bringer, right, the planet of wealth, abundance, happiness, security, and pleasure, is helping your world go through a transformation into becoming something much more dynamic, something much more profitable, and yes, even something much more pleasurable. This is a blessing to all social connections you have. Your romantic life, your professional life, your platonic friendships, your family, all across the board. And from May 25th and through the rest of the year, things are going to be broadening their horizons, and therefore you are going to be broadening your horizons. This could indicate bigger projects, things becoming a lot more substantial, important relationship developments getting accelerated. And this is also a time where, again, helpful third parties and allies could be hooking you up with opportunities and commitments that are maybe taking you out of a small pond that you have outgrown. So that is what you've got for your month of May, Aries. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2024. And don't forget to come back on a weekly basis for weekly astrological updates. And if you are not aware, I've got a new daily tarot feature on my playlist section, so you might want to go and check that out as well if you like tarot. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? Well, at the start of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus together in your sign. And this is a time where a lot of your personal pursuits, your personal projects, or your personal roads, things that you are committed to that are for you, irrespective of other people, right? Not necessarily living for the job or living for the family or living for the partner, but your own story, that is taking priority. That is becoming, what we are all about in this first half of the month. Getting back in touch with yourself, getting back in touch with your life, your road, your journeys, your biggest aspirations. And Venus is also turning you into a love and favor magnet during the beginnings of this month. And so you might find yourself becoming a lot more popular, drawing in a lot more support for the things that you want to do, but also at the same time, you might be getting a chance to experiment a little bit with some shifts in important relationships. Having relationships that are romantic or business relationships or friendships, starting to morph a little bit to be the relationships that operate a little bit more on your terms, not necessarily in a power-hungry way, but you're getting to do things your way. You're getting to take the lead in these connections. And this could be a time where, again, if you've been feeling like you've not really been living your own life, you're getting a chance to, well, get back on track with what is yours, and a lot of goodies are coming with that. We also have a new moon on the 7th in your first house, which is your once a year birthday new moon. And so this is all about you getting a chance to take on a brand new commitment, fresh start, or new story that is going to be the result of a big effort or a big pursuit that you finally embark upon. Now, this could be a time where a wish is getting granted. During the personal new moon transit windows, right? So again, from the 7th of May and the 14 days following, you really want to be concentrating your efforts on something that you're trying to manifest, you're trying to commit to. Again, a brand new fresh start, something you're trying to add into your life. Are you looking to maybe take on a new job? Are you looking to move? Are you looking to make more friends? Are you looking to do whatever? It does not matter. The sky is the limit. But you want to make sure that you're planting those seeds as close as we can to the days following the 7th so that they will manifest as we go through the rest of May and into June. We also have Mars and Mercury in Aries, your 12th house of the past, private matters, hidden opportunities, as well as old businesses. It affects the present, secrets, and shortcuts. Mars is going to be there all month long, and Mercury is here just for the first half of May. Now, this is all about eliminating things from the past that have followed us into the present to our detriment. With Mars in the 12th house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to obliterate old blocks or old, old hurdles, old obstacles, old chains, things that could be considered old business, that could be unfinished business, but you're getting a chance to duck out of those things, whether it's we aren't having to necessarily fully complete them, or old adversarial influences that have followed us into the present are also just going to be getting scattered by that Mars influence. And while we have that going on, we've also got Mercury in your 12th house, giving you a chance to take advantage of some really cool shortcuts, gifts, secret opportunities, and secret favors that are going to be coming to you as well from friends and allies known and unknown who have some pull behind the scenes in a lot of different corners of your world. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on the 2nd of May. And this is happening in your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And so this is starting up a 5-month passage for everybody. And Pluto retrograde in the 10th house for you is all about excavations, discoveries, and replacements of present norms. And this is going to be a passage where a lot of you are going to find that these different corners of your career are going through a pretty strong renovation process. Replacements of norms in the 10th house could indicate a change of maybe the people that we normally work with, changes of bosses, changes of work atmospheres and environments in all kinds of different ways. This can also be replacements for current work commitments or maybe job descriptions or vocational commitments by things that are coming in that are superior to them. We also have excavations and discoveries giving you a chance to also cash in on some returns, things that could be getting dug up from the past in good ways, or things that have been maybe hiding from you or buried or out of reach also being made available. However, Pluto is a true neutral planet. There is going to be, a lot of good that comes out of this, but Pluto stirs the pot. And so over this course of this 5-month passage as well, however, you might be in for some career chaos. This can sometimes rile some people up, make people feel like they just can't handle the lack of control, or there could be some events that also precipitate the good stuff that we just talked about that come on in very intense ways. In the second half of the month, We've got Mercury moved into your sign. So with Mercury in our first house, this is the time of speeding up things that we have fallen behind with, or things that have become sluggish in our life, things that we've been waiting on, things that maybe have been frozen in time for whatever reason, or that we have fallen behind with. This is the time of catch-ups. When we have Mercury in our sign, not only are we catching up, but we're likely also getting ahead. And we've got the Sun and Venus moving into the sign of Gemini, your second house of income, employment, values, valuables, and security. And when we have these two in the second house for the back half of May and also the beginnings of June, you're becoming a money magnet. These two together are all about making life a lot more easy and a lot more comfortable and even luxurious for you in the wealth department when they move through this part of your chart. This Venus is also making you a lot more popular in professional spaces, so that coupled with the Pluto retrograde in the 10th house, you might also find that your roster, the people that you're engaging with, are also starting to go through a bit of a musical chairs experience, especially as we close up May. And you're starting to really like some of the teams, the clientele, or the authority figures that you're rubbing elbows with. We also have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd. This is taking place in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as self-employment earnings, bonus money, or any kind of responsibilities or monies that you may share with partners, be they business partners or romantic partners. And this can also be an area that rules intimacy and sexuality. Now, in the 2 weeks following the 23rd, a lot of you are going to get a chance to have a nice big score come in terms of some kind of bonus income. This could be something that comes as a pleasant surprise or something that grows out of something that you are accustomed to, but it's, again, evolving or morphing into something more substantial. This can also be a time where some kind of financial cord is cut, some kind of financial arrangement, obligation, or contract or commitment that is not really working for you, might not be working for anybody, is coming up to be cleared, whether people know it's not working or not. And on the intimate side of things are going to be getting quite hot in the bedroom as we close up the month of May. With a full moon in the 8th house, people tend to get a bit crazy. And finally, we've also got Jupiter moving into Gemini on the 25th. And for the rest of the year, Jupiter is in your second house of income, employment, values, valuables, and security. And a lot of you are going to be enjoying probably one of the wealthiest transits that you may have had since maybe even going back as far as 6, and for some of you 12 years ago. A lot of the times with Jupiter in the second house, it's a time where we get to get ready to maybe jump a tax bracket, so to speak, whether it's because we are changing jobs or changing income profiles, or there's an atmospheric or environmental change in our work life, our career, or maybe with just our financial setup in general. But starting on the 25th and for the rest of the year and going on into 2025, that is what's getting built for you. So that is what I've got for you, Taurus. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go and head to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2024. And don't forget to come back on a weekly basis for weekly astrological updates. And if you enjoyed tarot, maybe you want to check out the new daily tarot feature I've got on my playlist section there. So go to my main channel page. You'll see it right at the top. So what's going on when it comes to your May? At the start of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus in the sign of Taurus, your 12th house of the past. Private matters, hidden opportunities, secrets, things that you might be working on either with other people or by yourself that are not public, as well as old business as it affects the present. And with the Sun and Venus in the 12th house, this is going to be a time where a lot of things that you have maybe been working on in secret are going through a boost in their maturity. This is a time where personal projects or personal investments or even important private connections, private, maybe one-on-one one-on-one connections with certain professional relationships, or even romantic relationships that are maybe becoming a little bit more private, a little bit more away from the crowd, or have been a bit more away from the crowd, are starting to mature and starting to bring a more rewarding story into your life. Venus here can also attract favors and wealth to you through paths less trodden, so secret opportunities for new money or special gifts or secret favors being done for you on and off the job. And the sun is also breathing life into either a story or maybe even an aspect of yourself that has been maybe kept locked up for a very long time, and you're getting reacquainted with these things, and they're getting very well taken care of. We also have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 7th, and so starting on the 7th and for the 2 weeks following, there's a bit of a resurrection story that is taking place. A new moon in the 12th house is all about something from the past getting a new life. And this is about breathing life into things as well that maybe we did lose or leave behind once upon a time. Or maybe things that, for whatever reason, either by environmental influences or, just circumstances in the past, we had to quit or drop or turn aside from, or could not give the priority they needed to thrive. Well, this new moon in Taurus is going to be changing some of that. We have Mars in Aries all month long, and Mercury is in Aries for the first half of the month as well. And this is your 11th house of friendships, your support system, community, and your loftiest goals and ambitions. And with Mars in the 11th house, you are starting to have a tighter squad amass around you, or you yourself may find yourself migrating socially to be closer with a stronger squad or the strongest friends that you have. Mars in the 11th house is all about bringing the warriors together, bringing the strongest support that you have and giving it a chance to actually pull off some miracles, not only for the unit itself, but also for you. This is a time where if you have been feeling a bit isolated or maybe not necessarily like you've had the time or the space to connect with the friends, the contacts, and the allies that you work best with and do the best work, period, you are going to see a lot of the layout of your social world change for it. However, Mars is also going to be filtering out a lot of liability connections as well. And so you might find him challenging certain associations, fair weather friendships, or maybe relationships or connections that are proving to be liabilities, holdbacks, time wasters, as well as just adverse to you, period, getting that moved out of the way. And with Mercury here, there's also going to be the speeding up towards the completion of a joint goal or a personal goal or aspiration that you have that maybe you once lost touch with. And Mercury in the 11th house is also going to be opening up new lines of communication and bringing in a lot of new love into your friendships as well. We've got Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on the 2nd, and this is your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, big travel opportunities, long distance connections, as well as any kind of government or legal proceedings, government or legal situations you may have yourself involved in, academia, and even your spiritual path and practice. And starting on the 2nd of May and going all the way up until the 11th of October, there is a theme of excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms going on in these areas of your chart. Now, when Pluto goes retrograde, a lot of what tends to happen is that we are getting a chance to take advantage of things that we didn't know we had access to. This could be helping us to cross a lot of red tape or get out of a lot of situations that have maybe been controlling, binding, or tunneling us as far as maybe our social life is concerned, any big moves or big changes we're looking to make environmentally. situations where big contracts, big agreements, whether they be professional or academic or government or legal, from the past, recent or less recent, have been controlling our movements or controlling our freedoms, or have been in some way dictating what does and does not, grow or come forward into our lives. Pluto retrograde is going to be doing a lot of work on overhauling all of these areas of your life. Now, there could be the replacements of a lot of norms you've become accustomed to during this period as well. Some of these norms will be norms that you might be accustomed to that you know are not good, and some of them are norms that you're accustomed to that are not good, but you might not know they're not good. And so this can be a period where we have to also be okay with living with a bit of the good and the bad that comes from a neutral experience of Pluto retrograde. But again, it will all pay off. It's just, will it feel pleasant or unpleasant? It's going to be on a case-by-case basis. The second half of the month, we've got Mercury entering Taurus, your 12th house of the past, private matters, hidden opportunities, and shortcuts. And this is all about shortcuts for you. Mercury in the 12th house is all about finding loopholes. It's all about helping you to escape things that have become entrapping or have been keeping you in a dead end or in a circular experience. And this could be coming through the help or the favors of a friend, or maybe even a development going on behind the scenes in a matter that is connected to you. This could also be a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to speed up maturity of things in your life that have fallen behind. We also have the Sun and Venus moving into your sign in the second half of the month, which is all about popularity. It's all about acclaim. It's all about your stock rising. This is also a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to have a lot of important relationships in your life. Professional relationships, platonic relationships, romantic relationships, family relationships. Start to get on pages that work for you. This is a way for us to see what it would be like if we did have things on the terms that we desire. Venus in your sign is also going to be turning you into a magnet for a lot of favors coming to you from other people. And the Sun is also going to be helping you benefit from a lot of environmental and atmospheric transformations in your life, close by and also further out, that are going to be putting you on a more golden road as we go into June. We have a full moon in Sagittarius taking place on the 23rd. This is in your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connection. So this is the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your closest one-on-one involvements with. And a full moon, of course, is all about the ending of a stage, or the ending of a chapter, the ending of a normal as well. And in the 2 weeks following the 23rd, a lot of you Gemini people may be finding that, yeah, there are some things that are coming to an end, as far as maybe where certain relationships are, or what roads they've come down, or even what roads they are heading down. This can be a time for a lot of status changes for a lot of you, and this can also indicate the removal of a lot of blocks to having the love story or the relationship or the business alliance that you want to have. And finally, we also have Jupiter entering your sign on the 25th. And this is a once in a 12-year transit where the planet of wealth, abundance, happiness, good fortune, good luck, and even pleasure is giving you a wild card blessing across the board. This is going to open up the rest of the year, and even going on into 2025, a lot of opportunities for you to not only reconnect with aspects of yourself that have maybe been repressed or suppressed or locked up, but also turn you into a magnet and a conduit of wealth, good fortune, and pleasure. With Jupiter in our sign, we get lucky breaks everywhere. It's going to be transforming not only our environment, but it's also going to be changing how we are seen by the world and what we receive from the world. And this can also be a time where a lot of you who've been maybe feeling like you've been forced to live in a very small world or a very small existence are going to be finally hitting the big leagues. So that is what I've got for you when it comes to your month of May and beyond, I guess. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2024. And don't forget to check back on a weekly basis if you like weekly astrological updates. And of course, if you enjoy tarot, I've also got a new daily tarot playlist feature you might want to check out on my main channel page as well. So, what is going on when it comes to your month of May? In the first half of the month, right at the start, we've got the Sun and Venus together in the sign of Taurus, which is your 11th house of friendships, your support system, community, as well as your loftiest goals and ambitions. And we also have a new moon here as well on the 7th. And so this month is really going to be all about you getting a chance to have your whole support system worked over. The Sun is bringing in opportunities to form tighter bonds with the right associates, with the right people, attracting new friends and new awareness into your life, and also making the ties that you have all the more uncomplicated, all the more fulfilling, all the more fun, bringing in that lightness, bringing in levity, and even healing certain friendship connections that maybe have been suffering or could do with a little bit of a repair job. Venus is also going to be bringing in a lot of gifts and a lot of favors to you through your connections, through community affiliations, as well as also liven up your love lives. In fact, a lot of you are going to find that you and a partner may be deciding that this is going to be a month of adventure, hitting the town and building up a support system for the relationship or for the family itself. And a lot of you who are single may be meeting people through your friendship circles or through a friend. A new moon here is also going to start a 2-week window on the 7th where you are getting a chance to have a new long-term commitment towards a joint goal or maybe some kind of substantial new friendship or community connection mature. We also have Mars and Mercury in Aries the first half of the month together. Mars is actually here all month long, and Mercury is here through the 15th. And this is your 10th house of career, upward mobility and status, station, promotions, and raises. And so this is all about you getting a chance to bump up in the world because Mars is all about breaking caps, breaking limitations, and breaking blocks that could have been set either once upon a time or just environmentally when it comes to your earning power and your ability to grow in your business, in your career, in your professional profile. And Mercury is speeding up accomplishments and speeding up the conversations or even fast forwarding a lot of professional and financial journeys that you've been on to forced successful fruitions. And so a very busy beginning of the month, but also one that's going to have a lot to profit you. We also have Pluto turning retrograde on the 8th in the sign of Aquarius, which is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, bonus monies, self-employment earnings, as well as any kind of responsibilities or monies you may share with partners, be they business partners or romantic partners. And we also have this as an area that rules intimacy and sexuality. Now, with Pluto going retrograde, this is opening up a 5-month passage, starting on the 2nd, concluding on October 11th. And this is going to bring about a lot of themes of excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms. Now, this could be a very cool window period where a lot of you are getting a chance to swap out a lot of unpleasant norms as it relates to your income, financial ties, responsibility ties, or shared responsibilities with other people. This can also talk about things like debts and investments and long-term commitments. But this is also a time where some important discoveries and excavations of things that have been hidden from you in the present as well as in the past could also be bringing you new opportunities for wealth. And this is also a time where rekindling old romantic fires with partners, as well as even discovering new depths of intimacy and sexuality, are also going to be highlighted. Just remember, replacements of norms means also replacing the norms that don't serve us, whether we know that they are good for us or not. And so this can also stir the pot where the pot needs to be stirred. And so some tumultuous or intense activity can also happen with this transit because Pluto is not a soft serve neutral planet, but there is a lot of good that comes out of it. The second half of the month, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus, that 11th house of friendships and community and support system and big goals. And with Mercury in the 11th house, you are getting a chance to speed up developments with a lot of joint pursuits or joint ventures, as well as a lot of maybe goals that you are looking to accomplish for yourself alongside or with a community, a group of friends, or something that you have like on a bucket list, something that you want to try. Mercury in your 11th house is all about getting you a chance to speed up as well the culmination of a lot of stories or a lot of journeys that you've been on with other people in order to help those connections and relationships graduate. And we also have the Sun and Venus moving into the sign of Gemini, which is your 12th house of the past, private matters, hidden opportunities, secrets, shortcuts, and old business as it affects the present. Now with the Sun here, this is about breathing life into things in your life that have either shrunk or have become small or have been going without attention, things that you've been operating at a deficit of. And this could be things that, you know, really do kind of keep you in touch with yourself. These could be things that are very important to you, your career, your relationships, your family, or these could just be aspects of yourself that you've had to keep locked up, that you've not been able to actually engage. And Venus here is going to be bringing you a lot of secret gifts, secret favors are going to be done for you, and you may also find that things in your life that have been getting overlooked are now getting the awareness and support that they need. This is also a time where a lot of relationships that are, you know, maybe very, very close to your heart are going through a maturation period as they are kind of pulling away from the crowd. You're spending a lot more time in private spaces with private connections, platonic, professional, and romantic, to increase the depth of closeness there. We also have a full moon in Sagittarius, which is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, anything relating to the teams that you're on and the teams that you operate with, what you give to the world, and what you get for what you give. Now, a full moon in the 6th house is a change in your reputation. It's a change in your role. It's a change how you are seen or what you are asked to commit to as far as your work, your job, or maybe, again, a community that you're a part of. This could end a professional connection, a professional commitment or relationship, or this could replace something in your life that's become stagnant with something all the more dynamic in the 2 weeks following the 23rd. And finally, we also have Jupiter entering the sign of Gemini on the 25th, which is your 12th house of the past, private matters, hidden opportunities, and again, shortcuts, secrets, and old business as it affects the present. And Jupiter in the 12th house is all about reacquainting you with things of enormous value that maybe A, we did not see were valuable in the past, or B, did not get a chance to develop. Now, this could be something where a lot of you are getting chances to reacquaint yourself with old money, old support systems, or maybe even find a lucky break when it comes to something that you've been working on that has been kept small because it's before its time. This is also a time where you are getting a chance to recover, reclaim, and even replace things that you once lost in the past because of outside influences. And this is going to be also boosting you up socially and financially as we go through the rest of this year and on into 2025. So that's what I've got for you, Cancerian folks. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2024. And just a quick reminder for you, if you enjoy weekly astrological updates, might want to come back on a weekly basis. And I've also got a new daily tarot feature on my playlist section, so if you're interested in checking that out, you should check that out as well. So this month, at the start of the month, for the first half, we've got the Sun and Venus together in Taurus alongside a new moon as well, all in your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And this is all about you kind of becoming the big Leo on campus when it comes to your career, your business, or your profile as it relates to your earning power and your stature with authority figures and your level of authority. Venus here is turning you into a popularity magnet and a favor magnet, and the Sun is helping you to get more value for what you bring to the world in terms of what you're contributing to the office, the market, as well as getting you seen by people of very strong influence in career circles. This is a time of lifting you up. This is a time of going into not only bigger spaces, right, bigger, brighter places, brighter horizons, but the Sun and Venus together are also working over a lot of career and work environments to be a lot more supportive of you. And we have the new moon here opening up some kind of fresh start, new commitment, or new opening that you can seize in the 2 weeks following the 7th of the month. Now, this could indicate for a lot of you a new role, a new very substantial professional relationship or commitment, or possibly a promotion. Yes, absolutely. But this is something that you are going to want to be ready to maneuver for, right? This is going to ask for a commitment from you, but it is a change in the way your career game, your finance game is played. We have Mars in Aries all month long and Mercury in Aries for the first half of the month. And this is your 9th house of expansion, growth, big moves, travel opportunities, as well as big contracts, long distance connections, and government and legal matters, and your spiritual path and practice. And with Mars here, this is all about you getting a chance to leave a bubble or leave a circle that has become an oppressive container. Now, this could be due to a commitment, a contract, or an association, or this could be due to a law of the land, so to speak, somewhere in your life, something that has either been imposed upon you externally, or maybe even for some of you, something that you agreed to yourself. But with Mars in the 9th house, it's all about getting the walls of the bubble broken, the boundaries of the container broken down. And with Mercury in the 9th house, this is also about speeding up growth, speeding up progress, and speeding up expansion that's going to help you to not only fast forward a lot of conversations, a lot of procedures, and a lot of processes you've been involved in here, but also speed them up to a successful conclusion. We have Pluto turning retrograde in the sign of Aquarius on the 2nd of the month. This is your 7th house of partnerships, closest one-on-one connections. So this is the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of the people you have your closest one-on-one relationships with. And starting on the 2nd and proceeding all the way up until the 11th of October, these areas of your life are going through an important passage of many excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms. Now, excavations and discoveries could indicate a lot of advantageous finds, things that we are digging up that have either been hidden from us, opportunities that could boost a relationship, boost a friendship, or boost a financial alliance or a business union, or something that could be reacquainting us with a lost treasure or a lost desire or a forgotten goal in an important connection that you have. And we also have replacements of norms that are changing the lanes that a lot of your important one-on-one relationships are driving in. And this can be very, very good for us, right? But it's important to remember that sometimes Pluto will do things in very intense ways. It's a neutral planet. We can't go black and white. But sometimes replacements of norms means replacing norms that are not good for us, that we didn't know were not good for us. And so there will sometimes be, again, some intensity and maybe some wildness that comes up every once in a while as these relationships go through their transitions. But these are all actually happening, again, to put everyone on the best paths possible. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus, into your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And this is about speeding up progress for you. This is about speeding up growth in terms of climbing up to a new earning power, a new status, or a new station, yes, but also at the same time with Mercury in the 10th house, this is about opening important conversations that have been a long time coming that could also be helping your professional life and your financial life reach a new golden age. And that's not just for the second half of May, that's also happening in June. We've got the Sun and Venus moving into the sign of Gemini, which is going to be your 11th house of friendships, your support system, community, and your loftiest goals and ambitions. And with Venus and the Sun together here, you are going to be really living it up. It turns you into a bit of a popularity magnet as far as just the social world in general is concerned. The Sun is going to be helping you to bond more closely with friends and important people in your life and also strengthen the communities you have, as well as draw in important community connections you didn't know you needed. And we've got Venus here livening up your personal life. Your romantic relationships are starting to become a lot more adventurous, outgoing, and also develop support systems of their own. And for those of you who are single or available to new people, this is a time where you want to be putting yourself out there. It may be through a community or through a friend that a new love story is hooked up. We have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd of the month, and this is opening up a 2-week window for a clearing of a stage in your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, and your relationships with your kids. And so what can happen here is that this is, again, the end of a stage. A new development is coming in. A full moon can close up a chapter in a relationship story. A lot of you may be changing status or having conversations about status changes in the 2 weeks following the 23rd. And this can also indicate a time to get to know each other again, whether it's getting to know romantic partners again or getting to know our kids again. However, this can also raise things up to a certain level of intensity as far as just exchanges are concerned. And that is because this is also a clearing moon. And so a lot of things that have been maybe problematic or working against us are coming up to be challenged. And just be mindful, some people are attached to the things that challenge them most. And finally, we've got Jupiter entering the sign of Gemini, which is your 11th house of friendships, your support system, and community. And Jupiter in the 11th house is, it's just the best. Honestly, I could give you some personal references to that myself, and maybe I will. But Jupiter in Gemini is all about the jet set life. It's all about getting out there. It's all about having a year of fame and fortune, honestly, because Jupiter is going to be in Gemini from the 25th through the rest of 2024 and on into 2025. Jupiter is the planet of wealth, abundance, happiness, joy, good fortune, and pleasure. And so a lot of you Leo people are going to be getting on the road with it or expanding operations in communities, in circles, friendships, and relationships that are ready to make that jump. This is a time where a lot of you could be doing a lot of traveling or making friends in high places, closing the distance and long distance important connections, and also getting yourself a chance to set up a stronger chosen family in your life. And this is also going to be benefiting not only your social life, but also your professional life and your romantic life as well. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2024. And don't forget to come back on a weekly basis for weekly astrological updates. And if you like tarot, might want to check out my new daily tarot feature under my playlist section. So what is going on when it comes to your May? At the start of the month, for the first half, we've got the Sun and Venus in Taurus together in your 9th house of expansion, big moves, big travel opportunities, as well as long-distance connections, government and legal matters, big contracts, as well as your spiritual path and practice. And we also have a new moon here taking place on the 7th of the month, opening up a special 2-week window period for some kind of new commitment, new start, or new beginning to also take hold. With the Sun and Venus in the 9th house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to not only expand your social horizons, but you are getting a chance to grow things in your life that need the extra support. Whether this is social, professional, or romantic, it doesn't matter. The Sun in the 9th house is all about helping you to put a new face or a new name for yourself on the map. And this is also a time where you are getting a chance to burn away a lot of locks, a lot of old ties, old contracts, and old commitments that have maybe been keeping you stuck in one stage in life for far too long. Overdue transitions, overdue blessings, overdue endings, and overdue support is all coming your way. And with Venus here, your personal life is also becoming a lot more thrilling. Venus in the 9th house is all about bringing a touch of the exotic, a touch of the experimental into love. And you may be noticing romantic partners are a lot more forthcoming, a lot more adventurous, and a lot more uninhibited when it comes to this. And new romantic partners, or those of you who are available, may be coming to you from spaces that you are not too familiar with, right? Different backgrounds. We have a wonderful chemistry. There's a very strong spiritual connection likely. But there is still a touch of the foreign in whatever is going on here. And you're also receiving a lot of favor in all kinds of contractual, government, legal matters, academic matters, or anything where you need to be able to change the laws of the land to suit you. And that's also a big part of this new beginning with this new moon on the 7th. We've got Mars in Aries all month long, as well as Mercury in Aries up through the 15th, so the first half of the month. And this is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, bonus monies, self-employment earnings, and any kind of responsibilities you share with others, partners, be they romantic partners or business partners. And this is also an area that rules sexuality and intimacy. Now with Mars in Aries, this is a time where things get extremely hot, running the risk of racy sometimes when we have this in an intimate area of our chart. This is a time for enjoying the carnal, cutting loose, enjoying being in a body. And a lot of you would find your love lives are starting to become a lot more electric, a lot more passionate, and again, a lot more carnal. This is also a time where a lot of financial blocks are coming up to be eliminated, and you could be standing to gain from some hardcore bonus income as well. Mercury here is also helping you to speed up some kind of transition that needs to be made in one of these areas of your life, whether it's an overdue conversation or something that you are just done with or you want to get over with it, especially as it relates to financial matters or shared responsibilities with others. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on the 2nd of May. And this is in your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, lifestyle, the services you offer to the world, and what you get back for those services. And starting on the 2nd of May, going all the way up through the 11th of October, we have a 5-month passage where a lot of excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms are in order for you. And this is a time where you might be doing a lot of replacing of norms professionally, socially, and even financially. And this can be something that is overdue. We could be discovering all kinds of hidden assets and opportunities, or even excavating old opportunities from the past that we can cash in on now. This can also be a time where things that have been hiding in plain sight that are golden for us are revealed. However, replacements of norms can also have its share of baggage, or its share of tumultuous activity alongside it, because there could also be some things that come up during this period in these areas of your life where replacements of norms that we know are not good for us, as well as replacements of norms that we don't know are not good for us, going to be happening at the same time. And so it's going to require some adjustments, but just keep in mind sometimes this can also rile other people up, because while people might pray for change, not everybody is actually willing to do the work or participate in change. And, you know, in a community and business area like the 6th house, it can get kind of dicey. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus, that 9th house that we talked about at the very beginning. And for the rest of May, you are going to be speeding up the completion of a lot of important negotiations that have been standing in the way of maybe an important project, an important move, travel opportunity, or long-distance connection realizing itself. Now, this could be speeding up completion of things that are maybe just slow going because of other people, or speeding up the completion of things that you have to fulfill or finish so you can make that jump. And this is also helping to close the distance between you and people, as well as goals and aspirations that have been maybe off and away. And this could be literally with travel, or maybe just transitions in terms of time and space in other forms. We've got the Sun and Venus moving into Gemini, your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status and station, promotions and raises in the second half of the month. And as we close up May and go on into June, we've got this beautiful link up of not only new wealth coming your way, but you're hitting a brand new stride with your professional standing, whether it's at the office, your business in general, or the people around you that can lift you up. Venus is turning you into a money magnet, as she does in an income area such as this, but we also have Venus drawing a lot of care and support to you where you've not really been getting appreciation, or something you've been doing has not been getting appreciation. And the Sun is bringing in more value to you in other ways as well. And a lot of new roles and new roads are opening up because of this pairing. We have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, and this is opening up a 2-week window period in your 4th house of home, family, and living situation for a big shift as well. This could indicate a time where some of you could be getting ready to go for a bit of an excursion, right? The full moon in the 4th house is great for those of you who are looking to move or relocate. Or if you're not even looking to move, this could still indicate an opportunity to do some serious transformative work around a home environment or a home finance situation. And this is also a time where a lot of old family business is going to be coming up to be cleared, starting on the 23rd and for the 2 weeks following. Just keep in mind that this is not just about your nuclear family. This can also go back to your family of origin or extended family. And sometimes a full moon in the 4th house can get a bit intense, because not everybody is very respectable about how they handle intense energy or sensitive subjects. As we go on to the final aspect here, we've got a special turn with Jupiter entering Gemini on the 25th. And this is that 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises. And you are one of the special signs that is going to be going through a huge jump in your earning power. When we have Jupiter in an income sector like houses 2 or 10, in this case for you 10, this is starting up a year-long transit, starting on the 25th, but again, carrying up into 2025, where a lot of you are getting a chance to start jumping tax brackets, take on huge scores in terms of raises, promotions, new jobs, new recognition, and really hit the ground running with business affairs. With Jupiter in the 10th house, it's almost like you are being forced to succeed. But you have to keep in mind, because the planet of wealth, abundance, good luck, good fortune, and pleasure is working for you, he may inundate you at times with a lot of things that you are going to have to find time in the day for. It's going to be a very busy second half of 2024 for you, but it's also going to be extremely lucrative. Jupiter in the 10th house can also put you in a position to become recognized as a leader or an authority figure in your business, in your vocation, or to be given the power of one to use to, again, enormous advantage for yourself and others. And that's also a big theme of the second half of this year. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrology for May 2024. And don't forget to come back on a weekly basis for weekly astrological updates. And for those of you who enjoy tarot, I've got a new daily tarot playlist feature available for folks who'd like to take a crack at that. And I'll leave a link in a pinned comment down below for you. So what is going on with your month of May? So for the first half of the month, right at the start of May, we've got the Sun, Venus, and a new moon, all in Taurus, your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, bonus monies, as well as intimacy, sexuality, and even self-employment earnings to a certain degree. It's a weird house. It's one of those areas of the chart that kind of covers a broad spectrum. And with the Sun and Venus here all the way up through week 3 of the month, this is going to be a time where you are starting to accumulate all kinds of new wealth and new money through side income, bonus income, or things that come in as extra on top of your typical weekly or monthly take-home. Now, this could be through side gigs or things that you may be operating yourself, or simply through supplemental programs that you may have going on, right? Incentives, sales, commissions, tips, or even, again, projects that suddenly just trickle in more funds your way. Venus is, of course, bringing in a lot more romance and a lot more sensuality to your personal life in the 8th house, and this is also a time of getting a chance to blend and merge more completely with people to reach new depths of trust, while also getting a chance to explore hidden reaches of intimate languages that maybe we've not necessarily been able to fully explore or indulge with romantic partners, or even attract new people in to have the same experience with, for those of you who are single or available. The new moon here on the 7th is opening up a 2-week window period that is going to help you take on some kind of new income stream, whether this is for long term or a bonus for the short term. Of course, it's, that depends. It's going to be on a Libra to Libra basis, but this is also, again, a happy addition to what you're used to. We've got Mars in Aries all month long, and Mercury in Aries up through the 15th, so covering the first half of the month. And this is your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. So this is the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all the people you have your most involved one-on-one connections with. And with Mars here, this is going to be a month where a lot of chronic obstacles, chronic issues, hiccups, hurdles, and blocks in important connections, important relationships, or that have been holding you back from having the connections that you want to have, are coming up to be confronted directly. Things that could be, consistent thorns in the sides of your relationships, your business alliances, your partnerships, or just thorns in the side of any joint ventures, are also coming up to be challenged by the god of war, which is actually really, really good here, because with Mars in the 7th house, it's also, Mars is invested in making sure that all relationships and bonds are the strongest, most healthy, most enterprising, ambitious, and loyal they can be. And this can, however, also, precipitate some clashes and conflicts every once in a while. Most of the time, these are conflicts that need to happen to tear down a wall, but it's going to be good across the board. We also have Mercury here speeding up developments and growth and maturations in relationships and connections. And so if there are joint projects, joint pursuits, or relationship goals that are a little slow to progress or they are not maturing as fast as they could, Mercury is going to be helping that to speed along. And Mercury and Mars together are also going to be doing a bit of a check and filtration process on a lot of situations where you might need it. This is a time where, a lot of people that you may have to share a lot of space and time with and yourselves are going to have the relationship go through a bit of a renovation process. And likely this is something that's about purging or eliminating something that really is just not something we should be working on or investing so much energy in anymore, and trading it out for something better. We have Pluto retrograde in Aquarius this month as well. Pluto turns retrograde on the 2nd of the month, and is opening up a 5-month passage all the way up until the 11th of October. And this is happening in your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, personal enterprises, and your relationships with your kids. And when Pluto is retrograde, there is a big theme of excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms. When we have this going on in a place like the 5th house, these areas of your life are going to be transforming because of a lot of important discoveries that could be helping us to answer or solve a lot of puzzles, a lot of problems, or clear up a lot of mysteries in our life, whether this has to do with things that we might have been dealing with a partner, or maybe with one of our kids, or something going on with a creative collaboration. Or this could be helping us to solve a mystery about why something can't get started or hasn't been getting started or hasn't been moving down the best road. Sometimes excavations can indicate the uncovering of important information that has been either hiding in plain sight, or even things from the past that we are getting a chance to incorporate into the present to change our roads for the better. But replacements of our norms does mean also replacing things that both we know are not good for us and replacing things we might not know are not good for us. And since this is an area that does involve other people, this can sometimes be a tough transit. Even though a lot of this is happening for the good, it can catch some people by surprise what comes up. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury moving on into Taurus, into that 8th house of shared resources, passive income, and bonus monies. And you're going to be finding that you are speeding up in a lot of financial processes where you might be looking to save towards a goal or to eliminate some kind of debt or financial burden or liability that has been maybe staying in your way, or it's been on the list. And that's also going to carry on into June. And we have the Sun and Venus moving on into Gemini, your 9th house of expansion and growth, anything to do with big moves, big travel opportunities, long distance connections, as well as government and legal matters, and even your spiritual path and practice. And so this is about getting you and yours out of a bubble, out of familiar patterns, out of containers that you have been in for a while or that you are due to outgrow. When we have the Sun in the 9th house, this is a time where you are getting a chance to become fairly well known where you need to be well known. This is one of the 15 minutes of fame transits, so if you need that attention or if it's going to help lift you up in business, your social life, your personal plans, it doesn't matter. This is going to be a time where doors and roads are opening up all over. And Venus is taking your love life into places that are very foreign. Now, it could literally be that you and a partner are choosing to do some traveling, or you might be finding that partnerships are becoming a lot more adventurous and experimental. And you're also getting a chance to delve into some spiritual stuff with your partners, you know, maybe even go through some deeper philosophies or connect on more non-physical subject matter. And for those of you single or available, you might be attracting a lot of people you click really well with that might not have the same background or they're just the same roots as you. There's going to be, again, a bit of a foreign exoticness to that as well. We've got a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, your third house of communications, pacts, promises, and commitments. And so over the course of the 2 weeks following the 23rd, there's going to be a release and a removal from some kind of contract, binding commitment, or attachment that has become a ball and chain, something that's been tying you down. And so that's going to be a beautiful release for you. And as we get to the 25th, we also have Jupiter entering the sign of Gemini, that ninth house of expansion and growth, big moves, big travel, long distance connections, government legal matters, and your spiritual path and practice. And with Jupiter in the ninth house for the rest of the year and on into 2025, from the 25th of May onward, a lot of you are getting a chance to really get out there. A lot of you are getting yanked out of your bubble, yanked out of your comfort zones to brighter horizons, to bigger and better places. Ponds that you have outgrown, you're getting dumped out of into cleaner waters, into bigger ponds with better fish. This can be a time where a lot of you do a lot of traveling, or you may notice your professional life starting to evolve in ways where you're going to have to be more active, more engaged, but you're also raking in a lot more money. And again, this does also boost our popularity and fame. Jupiter is the planet of wealth, luck, abundance, and pleasure, but it also can bring in a celebration of us. And so prepare for a very busy, but also very lucrative back half of your 2024 and beyond. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrology for May 2024. And just a quick reminder, you might want to come back on a weekly basis if you enjoy weekly astrological updates. And for those of you who enjoy tarot, might want to check out the new daily tarot playlist feature I've got. I'll leave a link in a pinned comment down below. At the start of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus together in your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one connections. This is the area that rules the boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of your closest one-on-one connections and joint ventures. And we also have a new moon in this area as well on the 7th. And so the first half of May is all about explosive evolutions going on in your closest joint ventures and one-on-one connections. Venus is really setting in a new focus on new depths of closeness, but also at the same time bringing in more love, more peace, more harmony, and even attracting, as Venus is a magnet, a lot of creature comforts, a lot of wealth, as well as support to close connections in order to help them perform better in your life and in the life of your other. And this is also a time for those of you who are maybe single or available to new people, or you're looking for a new business partnership, you're looking for more friends, are going to be attracting people that have that core goodness in them that is a perfect fit for you. The Sun here is also going to be working hard on bringing out the strong friendships in these connections as well, right? Because the longevity is rooted in the friendship, the platonic intimacy, the trust, right? The stuff that is more earthy and grounded. And so with the Sun bringing in more lightness, more levity, more bonding, security, this is going to be a golden month for all of it. And with the new moon here, a lot of you may be getting a chance to take on a new relationship story, a new relationship road, or a new relationship destination, or this could be even cementing an important close friendship or business opportunity in the form of a partnership or collaboration as well in the 2 weeks following the 7th. We've also got Mars in Aries all month long, as well as Mercury in Aries for the first half of the month up until the 15th. And so this is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, as well as the teams that you're on, the services you provide to the world, your lifestyle, and what you get back for what you contribute to the world. With Mars here, things are getting very competitive, but in a very good way. Mars in the 6th house gives you a chance to throw your weight around for better opportunities, for better gigs, for more substantial wins. And you're likely going to find that this month is going to be giving you a lot of opportunities for new wealth, but you might be burning the candle at both ends every once in a while. But Mercury is also going to be speeding up your progress in making a lot of changes to your lifestyle, your schedule, maybe your work setups, your community arrangements, how you fit into the world to make all of these things run more smoothly as well, and also speed up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth in these areas that do provide you some wealth, while also spreading your good name when it comes to what you bring to the world and drawing more friends, supporters, and colleagues to your side. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in the sign of Aquarius in the first half of the month on the 2nd of May. And this is opening up a 5-month passage going all the way up until the 11th of October, where your 4th house, because that's where this is, of home, family, your living situation, home economy, as well as even your roots, your family of origin, all of these matters are coming up for a series of excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms. Pluto retrograde can be very helpful here because opportunities to maybe make some serious environmental shifts, or if you've been looking to change things about your home economy, are going to be put on the table. We could be discovering assets and wins that have been covered up or hiding in plain sight. And we can also be excavating some things from the past that maybe that were before their time, or that we could not work on, or even things that we thought we had to give up for whatever reason that can now be ours to reintegrate in the present. However, replacements of norms can indicate also some stress that's going on around these areas. You know, not everybody is good with change, even though everyone seems to be begging for it, right? You know, when you're dealing with replacements of norms, a lot of things that have been unpleasant or unhappy norms here are coming up to be replaced. And these are both things that we know are bad for us and things that we don't know are bad for us. And so it can stir the pot a bit as we go through this next 5 months in home and family matters. But again, that's how we ride the wave when it comes to neutral planets like Pluto. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury in Taurus in that 7th house of partnerships. And this is all about helping to draw closer to you, whether physically or just in terms of time and quality time spent, people that are your, let's just say, your best pieces on the chessboard, right? Whether these are valuable allies, romantic partners, close friends, joint ventures, it doesn't matter. Mercury in the 7th house is all about helping to speed up and evolve relationships to become their most mature and their best performing, just kind of like Venus, but really more about the ambition, as well as focusing a bit more on bringing things to maturation that are overdue for maturation. Now, this could also be a time where a lot of you are speeding up the accomplishment of a lot of relationship goals, and this could also be going on into early June. But you are going to need to be ready to prioritize some time here, and also be welcoming working with people where you've been maybe going things a bit more solo or in smaller groups in the past. We have the Sun and Venus moving into Gemini. We have that being a huge light turning on in your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, self-employment earnings, bonus income, as well as intimacy and sexuality. The Sun and Venus together here are helping you to rake it in through a lot of bonus income opportunities that are stacking on top of what maybe is your normal weekly or monthly when it comes to your base. And this is also a time where relationships are becoming a lot more intimate, because a lot of boundaries and barriers are coming down when it comes to love languages, as well as sexual activity. And so I try not to make these videos too racy, but it's getting quite, sexy for the Scorpio people as we close up the month of May and go on into early June. But you are also going to find that this is going to, bring in a lot of opportunities to take down a lot of walls around relationships and relationship opportunities, and you should enjoy it. We also have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, which is your second house of income, employment, values, and valuables, opening up a 2-week window period starting on the 23rd for a big jump or a big chapter or stage change in your professional life or maybe around a financial circumstance. With this chapter change, some of you could be jumping out of a lane or jumping off a road that you've been on and integrating into something completely different. This could be a new role, a new job opportunity, or perhaps something that you are purging from the past that has actually been anchoring you or chaining you to a certain professional stance, standing, profile, or status. And finally, we've got Jupiter entering Gemini on the 25th, that 8th house of shared resources, passive income, bonus monies, and even intimacy. And with Jupiter going into this part of your chart on May 25th and staying here up through 2025, this is going to be a time where you're going to notice that you're actually making a lot of money. This is one of the chief income zones that we start to accumulate a fair amount of wealth both passively and directly at the same time. A lot of you may find that this is going to be a period where a lot of investments that you've made, or maybe if it's not investments that you've made, a lot of side income streams, passive income streams are starting to be more substantial. You might find that self-employment ventures or anything that you're running yourself is going into a bit of a golden age. And Jupiter in the 8th house is also a great time for anyone looking to make some kind of major investment, whether it's purchasing a home or, even doing something bigger than that, or if you have been thinking about maybe cashing out of something you've been holding on to for a while, you're coming into some good liquidity. And this is also a time where relationships start to become all the more playful. Jupiter in the 8th house is all about getting relationships out of maybe their ruts, if you want to put it that way, a rut or a comfort zone, and also busting out of any kind of self-imposed limitations that have been maybe keeping the relationship or those involved in, let's just say, in forms or stages of life that we have outgrown but haven't molted. And that's a big theme of this next year for you all as well. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrology for May 2024. Don't forget to come back on a weekly basis if you enjoy weekly astrological updates. And for those of you who enjoy tarot, might want to check out my new daily tarot feature under a playlist of its very own. And I will leave a link to that playlist in the down bar below for you in a pinned comment. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? At the start of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus together alongside a new moon, all in Taurus, which is your 6th house of work, your reputation, your schedule, as well as your lifestyle, the teams that you're on, and the value that you get back for what you contribute to your work life and the communities that you're a part of. And with Venus and the Sun together here, this is a time where you are becoming a lot more popular and you're getting the MVP treatment in a lot of circles that you run in. On the professional front, this is a time where you might be noticing that you are starting to make more money without having to necessarily change much about what you do. This could indicate developments where raises or incentives are coming your way. Some of you could be offered opportunities to take on new roads or take on new roles, but you are also just getting treated all the better, and you are the first pick. You're getting kind of the favorite treatment amongst clients, colleagues, bosses. It doesn't matter. And with these two here, you're setting up a brand new normal in this space of your life. A new moon here can indicate, for a lot of you who might be looking for a new job, whether you are looking to make an internal move in the place that you work, or you're looking for something brand new entirely, are going to fare the best in the 2 weeks following the 7th, and it's likely that that new beginning, that fresh start, that new commitment will be getting underway as we go into mid-month. It's all gorgeous here for you, both financially and professionally. We also have Mars in the sign of Aries all month long, and Mercury is in there as well through the 15th. And so this is your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, as well as personal enterprises and your relationships with your kids. And when we have Mars here all month long, this is going to be a time of tearing down walls that have been maybe pushing or steering or swaying relationship paths, relationship setups, or maybe just relationship situations down roads that are not serving anybody involved, while also bringing in more passion, more drive, and more ambition to all of your connections, making sure that people are in a space where they can, perform feats that they haven't always challenged themselves properly to do. Now, in love and in romance, this is about bringing a new dynamism to partnerships through that passion, through that fresh energy. And there could also be some powerful releases going on during this time as well, to let go of things that have maybe chained themselves or have been negative package deal arrangements in relationships with partners. This can also be a time where a lot of old issues or old challenges that have been hanging overhead when it comes to relationships with your kids are getting cleared away. And there's a lot of block busting going on here as well when it comes to new relationship opportunities, or even getting out to find them, as well as making some headway with any kind of creative projects or personal business enterprises you want to get further ahead with. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in the sign of Aquarius on the 2nd of the month. And this is your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, as well as helpful third parties and allies. And when we have Pluto retrograde here, from the 2nd of May and going all the way up until October 11th, we are entering a 5-month passage where a lot of excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms are in order. Now, this can change a lot of social dynamics that you have with allies, friends, and peers. And this can also bring up some matters to maybe face or confront as it relates to family members in your own generation, so siblings and cousins. But what happens here is that we've got replacements of norms that have not necessarily been good for you or anyone else with things that are good. The challenge that happens, though, is that sometimes the things that are bad that get replaced are things that we don't know are bad. And through the excavation and discovery process, those things come up. This is also a time where a lot of contracts, a lot of agreements and commitments that have not been good are being revealed for why and how, but we're also seeing discoveries and excavations of valuable assets, valuable people, and valuable hookups that we didn't know we could have getting brought our way too. So as it is a neutral planet, right, neutral outer planet here, we're going to have a lot of waves to ride, but a lot of good that can even come out of what could feel unpleasant. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury in Taurus in that 6th house of work, reputation, schedule, as well as your lifestyle. And Mercury here is speeding up some transformations that you've been trying to make. When we're talking about transformations you might be trying to make, these could be things that you're trying to adjust with a budget, whether it's relating to your finances, something you're planning for in the future, or how things are organized in your world relating to your schedule and your responsibilities. This can also indicate the speeding up of progress with a lifestyle or health priority that you have. I'm not a doctor, and run, don't walk from astrologers who pretend they are, right? Ignorant, traumatized wannabe gurus. Poison to this community. Let's excommunicate them the village style now. But with the Mercury transit of the 6th house, you might be finding some serious headway as helping to catch you up for lost time or move you faster down a road you want to be going in these priorities, so long as you are in a space where, you can keep up. This is also going to be a time where the speeding up of the maturation of some kind of professional goal is going to be happening, so you might need to also find some extra hours in the day in order to be able to see this through as we close up May and go into June. We've got the Sun and Venus together in the sign of Gemini in the second half of the month as well, and that's also a June aspect. This is your 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections, your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all your closest one-on-one involvements and joint ventures. Venus here is bringing in a lot more romance, a lot more affection, as well as a lot more luxuries into romantic partnerships. This could be blessing both you and a romantic partner in material and non-material ways. And the Sun is helping to strengthen the friendship elements of all of your closest one-on-one connections, becoming tighter with our best friendships, becoming tighter with professional alliances, becoming tighter with romantic partners. And these two combined are attracting the best one-on-one connections for whatever purposes into your life for those of you that are looking for them. And again, that's not just for the back half of May, that's also for June. We also have a full moon in your sign taking place on the 23rd, which is your once a year clearing moon. And so starting on the 23rd and for the 2 weeks following, there's going to be a huge elimination opportunity. Anything that you're looking to quit, drop, abandon, or abolish in your life that maybe you've tried to escape before but met resistance with, this full moon is saying, give it another try. When we have a full moon in our sign, we're getting a chance to escape something that seemed inescapable. Because it is in our sign, it can likely be something anywhere in the rest of your world, but it's yours to work with however you choose. And finally, we've got Jupiter entering the sign of Gemini on May 25th, where he's going to be all the way up well into 2025. And this is Jupiter in the 7th house of partnerships and closest one-on-one connections. Jupiter in the 7th house is a fairly magical period. This is a time where a lot of you are going to be drawing in, again, a lot of close one-on-one connections to bring in the best support system of one-on-one individual relationships that you need. This is a huge blessing of prosperity for not only business partnerships, but even successful romantic relationships and marriages. A lot of you are going to find that Jupiter is trying to pull together the best joint ventures, the best relationships, and the best people for you to keep close possible during this passage. You may find that if you are single or available to new people, meeting people who are going to go the long haul is basically what Jupiter is prioritizing during this year. Those of you who are in relationships may be getting engaged or even married or setting the plans for those things as we go through the rest of this year. And again, all partnerships of all kinds are starting to hit a fairly wealthy way. So that is what we've got for you. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. My name is Nico, Son of Selene, and if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2024. And don't forget to come back on a weekly basis if you enjoy weekly astrological updates as well. And if you like tarot, I've got a new daily tarot shuffle playlist available for you. If you want to give that a whirl, I'll leave a link in a pinned comment down below. So what is going on when it comes to your month of May? Well, at the start of the month, and for pretty much the first half, we've got the Sun and Venus and a new moon operating your 5th house of romance, creativity, recreation, as well as creative enterprises and your relationships with your kids, Taurus. Now, when we have the Sun and Venus here, this is a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to go into almost like a honeymoon mode in your love life. Venus is all about making sure that love languages, romantic communications, intimate communications are able to move with a freer flow and also become more sweet, more open, and even more vulnerable to help set a new tone, a new peaceful, comfortable, but also playful tone in all of your relationships here, whether it's your relationships with romantic partners that you are with, or for those of you who are available to new people and attracting new people as well. And the sun is going hard on making everybody better friends with each other. So becoming better friends with romantic partners or potential partners, as well as becoming friends with our kids and becoming better friends with even creative collaborators and members of our community that we want to work more with. A new moon here is also starting up a brand new story or a brand new commitment opportunity for a lot of you as well. This could indicate a new stage to cement and to begin in a romantic partnership, or maybe a new person for those of you who are looking for a new person, or a new step in a journey that you're on with a creative enterprise that you would like to either launch, commit more deeply to, or evolve. And so it's a beautiful first 3 weeks of the month for you. That new moon window especially is going to be strong between the 7th and the 14 days following. And we also have Mars in Aries, your 4th house of home and family all month long, and Mercury in there as well for the first half of the month, changing your home environment to be a lot more supportive, a lot more safe, sound, but also profitable for you, or maybe more gainful, more well-stocked, more secured. Because Mars is in your 4th house of home and family all month long, you're going to be finding that money is coming into your home all the more quickly, all the more easily. Mars likes to bring us money through labor, and so this can also be a time where maybe even romantic partners or other family members are coming into good ways financially. This is also a time for a lot of transformations in the environment in order to make things feel more, well, like home, like sanctuary, like a castle. And so a lot of you could be getting down to business with some important renovation work or environmental transformations in that respect. It's also very supportive of those of you who are looking to maybe make some kind of move. And Mercury is helping to speed up the maturation or the completion of any kind of major family or household goal or maybe plan that you've had to accomplish this month, or maybe even later in the year. It could be moving it up all the faster. This is also, however, a time where a lot of old issues that maybe have still been unresolved relating to the household or the family, or even going into your family of origin, could come up, because Mars is also here as a bit of a cleanup crew. And so you might be facing a lot of those things. There could be some challenges on the home front or challenges on the family front that are not new by any stretch of the imagination, but can't be ignored and do have to be faced head on. And Mars is going to be there to help conquer those things and force them out of your life. We also have Pluto turning retrograde in Aquarius on May 2nd, which is in your 2nd house of income, employment, values, valuables, and security. Now, with Pluto turning retrograde, this is starting up a 5-month passage that goes all the way up until the 11th of October, where a lot of excavations, discoveries, and even replacements of norms are going to be quite regular in this part of your life. Now, with Pluto retrograde in the 2nd house, this can be beautiful. Discoveries and excavations can lead to unexpected good news around money, or things being uncovered as far as opportunities to step into better roles, more substantial jobs, or even transformations to a work setup or a financial plan setup to make it all the more gainful for you. Replacements of norms means that you could also be seeing a lot of shifts going on when it comes to the people that you're working with and working for, or even environmental transitions here as well. But Pluto is a true neutral planet, and so even though a lot of this is replacing bad norms that we know are bad, it could also be replacing and shaking up bad norms that we don't know are bad. And so we might need to be ready to ride some waves as we go through this as well, because not everybody who wants change actually works with change, and so there could be some issues that come up over this 5 months with bosses, with work situations, with clients, with co-workers, because Pluto retrograde, again, he doesn't do things gently, but he does focus on setting everyone up where they belong. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus, that fifth house of romance, creativity, recreation, and relationships with your kids. And this is all about speeding up growth and progress in joint efforts that you may have been working with a partner or with a creative collaborator or one of your kids. So any kind of shared path, shared plans, things that we have as a couple, right? A relationship goal, or maybe a goal that we and our kid have maybe teamed up on, or something that we want for our child. This could also be a time where a lot of new ways to connect on an intellectual level are opening up with romantic partners and our kids, creating a more close meeting of the minds, right? Having a stronger intellectual rapport with our partner, and also creating a lot more opportunities to stimulate the relationship or the relationships you have, both with partners and with your children, to become a lot more deep, a lot more analytical, but also a lot more wonder-inspiring, a lot more curious, a lot more outgoing, which is going to be a lot of fun. The Sun and Venus in the second half of the month will be moving into the sign of Gemini, your sixth house of work, reputation, your schedule, your lifestyle, the teams that you're on, the people you work with, and of course what you get from what you bring to the world. And with these two in the sixth house, you are kind of becoming the office favorite. You are getting a chance to be a star player, get the VIP treatment at work and in your community in general, the community at large, whether this is the neighborhood, the town that you're in, a club or an association that you have, or again, something going on with your work life. Now with Venus here, it's all about hookups, it's all about getting treated better, and having the tools and the spaces and the money that you work with jump up in value because of that special treatment. And the Sun is also going to, as we go through the end of May and even into June, be working over the way these environments operate in order for you to be able to shine all the better, especially if there have been issues in terms of agreements, policies, standards, schedules, and whatnot that have been cramping your style for whatever reason. We've got a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd. This is happening in your 12th house of the past, private matters, hidden opportunities, shortcuts, and old business as it affects the present. Now, a full moon in the 12th house can be a fairly tense moon to deal with. This is our once-a-year breakdown, breakthrough full moon. A full moon in the 12th house forces something that has followed us or that we have clung to or carried or contained out of our life for our own good. Now, this can be the closing of old business, the release of something that has been effectively a curse that has followed you. But we may struggle with the release of that. This is going to force something to be over before you or other people feel like you have adequate resolution during that 2 weeks following the 23rd. But it is something, for all intents and purposes, that is already over and done. It's just not been let go. It's just not been dismantled yet. But this is going to free you as well. We finally also have, for the final aspect we're going to talk about in this video, Jupiter entering the sign of Gemini, that sixth house of work, reputation, schedule, and lifestyle on the 25th. And starting on the 25th and through the rest of the year and going on into 2025, you're going to find that you are always going to be in the right place at the right time for some kind of major jump. Jupiter in the sixth house is all about setting you up for success, especially when it comes to giving you a stronger standing not only in your community, on the job and off the job, but also giving you a chance to pull closer to you the dream team of friends, supporters, the squad, so to speak, that are going to also help you lift up your quality of life, both monetarily and socially. Jupiter in the sixth house is also a great time for anyone who has been looking to either get ahead or complete some kind of financial push that they have been trying to make. If there's something you're trying to save up for as a major business plan, buy a house, make a big move, Jupiter in the sixth house is going to be transforming a lot of your world to be a perfect fit to complete that agenda. And it's going to be quite lucrative and quite consistent as we go through the rest of this year and into 2025. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hi there, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2024. And don't forget, if you enjoy weekly astrological updates, might want to come back on a weekly basis to have a look at those, because I do that every week. And also, if you enjoy tarot, don't forget to check out my new daily tarot playlist feature on my main channel page, and I will leave a link to that playlist in a pinned comment below as well. So what's going on when it comes to your May? Well, at the start of the month and for the majority of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus together in Taurus alongside a new moon taking place on the 7th. This is your fourth house of home, family, your living situation, home economy, as well as anything that could go back into your roots in the past. Now, with the Sun and Venus in the fourth house, this is a time where a lot of you are getting ready to plant new roots. Venus here is very, very strong for anybody looking to start a new chapter when it comes to their home life or their family life, whether it has to do with things that we're trying to transform around our home economy, to spruce the place up a bit, or possibly even help magnetize us and our family to more fortunate connections, to more gainful opportunities, and also bring more love, peace, and support to the home in all other kinds of ways. Venus here is also really good for those of you in romantic relationships who have been maybe thinking about getting ready to merge or to join up with a partner in a more substantial way, planting new roots in that sense. And with the Sun in the fourth house, this is also a time where a lot of new lightness, levity, and playfulness is coming into your home life and into your family relationships, not just blood relatives, but also the people you consider family and your chosen family. A new moon here is also going to be very supportive for anybody looking to make a serious jump. A new moon in the fourth house can indicate some kind of expansion or growth opportunity for the family. This could indicate some of you possibly deciding that you want to make a move or make some kind or bring some kind of addition or transformation to the way that your home works or how things are operating there. And this can also indicate a new beginning for a family member or a romantic partner that is also going to have a positive collateral effect on everybody else. We have Mars in Aries all month long, and we also have Mercury in Aries for the first half of the month. And this is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, helpful third parties, as well as allies. Now, with Mars in the third house, people are really showing up for you. With Mars in the third, this is a time where any kind of alliance or collaborative work is going to be thriving. Pay attention to where you are getting really hooked up by people that are coming in to help you fight battles that you've been fighting by yourself. Helpful people of all kinds are going to be recruiting themselves to your cause. And with Mercury in the third house, this is also a time where you're going to be getting a chance to receive a lot of hookups that could help you to maybe speed up the completion of a lot of tasks that you have been short-handed with. This is also a time where a lot of you could be having a bit of a shift go on when it comes to your network, when it comes to the people that you engage, when you want to facilitate change in your life. With Mercury and Mars here together, you might be noticing a changing of the roster, some musical chairs kind of stuff going on, or there could be something happening here where some very important allies are getting brought closer into your life, or you're brought closer to them in order to take on an endeavor or a project that is going to be quite big, quite substantial, and quite profitable for all involved. However, profit is going to show up in that situation. But with Mars in the third, this is also a time where you're getting a chance to bust out of a lot of containers that you have been in that no longer serve as well. Likely ones that maybe have only existed because of a lack of fresh energy, a lack of fresh blood, a lack of fresh ideas from the people around you. And that's going to change a lot as we go through the month of May. We've got Pluto turning retrograde in your sign on the 2nd of the month, and this is opening up a 5-month passage that goes all the way up into October. It ends on October 11th. And when we have Pluto retrograde in the first house, this is all about you, your journey, your personal goals, your personal pursuits, what you've got going on or what you're leading. That is about your story. That has nothing necessarily to do with other people. And so when we have Pluto turn retrograde here, it's all about excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms. And this is a really good place to have Pluto retrograde. When Pluto retrogrades in our first house, while Pluto is technically true neutral, things tend to be a lot more favorable to us personally. Because this is an area that is going to be focusing on you, excavations and discoveries could show up in the form of you finding all kinds of hidden treasures, or even recovering or replacing things that you once lost in the past, getting a chance to reacquaint yourself with maybe dreams, goals, desires, and roads that you had to leave, or maybe you just lost touch with. This is also a time where if you feel like maybe you've not been getting a chance to work on your own life, you know, kind of living for the work, living for the job, living for the family, living for the partner, and kind of living other people's journeys, Pluto retrograde is going to force things to change in a way where, you know, again, you are a unique person on a unique path yourself. You got to work that too. And replacements of norms could also be going on to help make that so. Now with Pluto retrograde though, this is also a time where a lot of comfortable routines that maybe have not been serving you are also going to be coming up to be scrutinized and challenged, but whatever is replacing those comfort zones is going to be superior to them as well. In the second half of the month, Mercury moves on into Taurus, into that 4th house of home and family and living situation. And with Mercury in the 4th house, this is going to be speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth, where you are being able to notice that both the financial influxes that are coming to you personally and from maybe other spaces that are connected to your home economy are starting to pay you out all the faster. And this is also a time where you are getting a chance to maybe develop stronger rapport, stronger connections with family members and people you consider family, or even reconnect with people that you've lost touch with that do go back into your roots, that do have a good rapport with you. We've got the Sun and Venus moving into Gemini, your 5th house of love, romance, as well as creativity, recreation, and your relationships with your kids in the second half of the month. And this is all about opening up a honeymoon experience or a honeymoon phase in all matters of love and romance. And so for a lot of you who are coupled, this could be a time where it's time to consider taking a little bit of a walk on the wild side, getting a chance to have another honeymoon moment with our sweetheart. This is also great for attracting new romantic partners into your life, for those of you looking for new romantic partners. And the Sun is coming in and helping us to work on becoming better friends with romantic partners, really work on the friendship element there. This is also going to help work on becoming better friends with our kids, with our children, develop a stronger bond that is not necessarily about the roles that we have, right? We want to keep a balance, but that's important too. So the same thing applies when it comes to love and romance, right? It can't just be about the roles and the characters we play or the parts we play in the romantic script. We've got to be good friends too. And so with the Sun and Venus together, you know, that part of your life, those parts of your life are all getting really worked over. We also have a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd, which is in your 11th house of friendships and your support system and community and your loftiest goals and ambitions. Now, a full moon in the 11th house can indicate social pruning taking place, especially between the 23rd and the end of the 14 days following. When we have a full moon in the 11th house, it's likely that either a person or maybe even a community or an association that you have that's already been on thin ice with you is going to be cleared away. This can bring up a fight, or this just can indicate a parting of ways. Now, this is not something that typically comes up as a surprise. A full moon in the 11th house, like I said, this person or this community is already on thin ice. It will not be a surprise if this is what needs to go down. And finally, on the 25th, we've got Jupiter, the planet of wealth, abundance, happiness, luck, and pleasure, moving on into your 5th house of romance, recreation, creativity, and your relationships with your kids, Gemini, where he's going to be from the 25th of May all the way up into 2025. Jupiter in the 5th house is an extremely powerful blessing to any kind of creative or personal enterprise work that you want to do. If you're looking to go into business for yourself, if you are looking to grow a personal business, if you already work for yourself, it's going to start to thrive. Side projects, side gigs, any kind of creative work that, does bridge the gap between a profession and art is also going to be thriving at this time for you. But we also see this really working over your love life. Jupiter in the 5th house is bringing in a year of opportunities to jump into extremely substantial, almost like, I would say like a very substantial adventure is getting kicked off in your love life. Now this can indicate a time where there are many moves and many transitions because of constant evolutions going on in love. A lot of you may be getting engaged or even getting married, during this period, or setting up the plan for it. Jupiter is also bringing in a lot of romantic opportunities that are going to be, basically just in the offering for those of you who are single or available to new people. And this is also a time with Jupiter in Gemini, as it rules children for you as well, where a lot of you who've maybe been hoping to conceive or expand on your family will also be afforded the opportunity. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you ever want to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what's going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for the month of May 2024. And don't forget, if you enjoy weekly astrological updates, might want to come back on a weekly basis because I do those. And if you enjoy tarot, might want to check out my new daily tarot playlist feature, and I will leave a link to that playlist in the down bar below for you in a pinned comment. So what's going on when it comes to your month of May? At the start of the month, and for the majority of the month, we've got the Sun and Venus together alongside a new moon in your 3rd house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, contracts, allies, and helpful third parties. Now, when we have this much activity going on in the 3rd house, it's a really important time to welcome new involvements and to welcome support, welcome help, welcome your best and brightest closer to you. Venus in the 3rd house is all about helpful hookups, matchmaking opportunities, and gifts of all kinds coming to you through your associations. So whether you are looking to get match made for professional opportunities, you're looking to attract new friends, or maybe you're looking to get match made in love, this is one of the best transits for it, right? Really want to open up. If you've been kind of flying solo, being introverted, you got to look and see what you're trying to contain, because the Sun and Venus here are helping to get more helpful sources of support into your life. The Sun in your 3rd house is also going to be a blessing on a lot of your best and brightest allies and collaborators, though it is also going to highlight the more problematic associations you might have, so you know what is going on so you can deal with it. But all in all, this is still a beautiful transit. We also have a new moon in this part of your chart on the 7th, opening up a 2-week window period for an important graduation or an important evolution in a collaboration, or possibly some kind of strong new commitment that is going to take you off a path that has been maybe kind of more of a roundabout and take you onto a road that's going somewhere because of an important hookup or an important connection either that you have or something that is evolving out of what you've been working with. We have Mars in Aries all month long, and then we also have Mercury in Aries for the first half of the month. And this is your 2nd house of income, employment, values, valuables, and security. Mars in the second house is beautiful for money. You are basically getting put in a position to make money hand over fist. Mars in the second house is all about wealth through labor, so this could be a month where you are finding you're working a lot of overtime, but you are also eliminating a lot of financial and income caps. You know, if you've been dealing with any kind of limits, like, okay, we can't seem to cross this number when it comes to weekly or monthly take home. We can't seem to ever cross this number with this kind of, you know, cash in the account. Mars is helping you to challenge and break those limitations. However, Mars is also going to be putting you in opportunities to eliminate a lot of bad company on the job or through the workspace, however it goes. Bad company, whether it has to do with coworkers, clients, or even just, again, problems by association. Mercury here, however, is also speeding up growth and speeding up the rate with which you are accumulating wealth, as Mercury does in an income sector like this. And we're also seeing Mercury speed up your move towards a more substantial position in your career or with a financial project that you're working on. And we also have Pluto turning retrograde in the first half of the month, on the 2nd in the sign of Aquarius, which is your 12th house of the past, private matters, hidden opportunities, secrets, shortcuts, as well as old business as it affects the present. And this is opening up a 5-month passage going from May 2nd all the way up until the 11th. And I'm sorry, some asshole wants to cold call me right now. Yeah. Anyway, so back to this. So we've got Pluto retrograde in this 5-month passage of the 12th house. And so we're talking all about excavations, discoveries, and replacements of norms that, you know, have followed you from the distant past. Excavations and discoveries in the 12th house can indicate opportunities for you to do something right that you've not been able to get right up until now when it comes to maybe personal stories, aspirations, and dreams that you have had from the past that have been either getting blocked or hampered or have been maybe suffering due to environmental influences or old situations that still affect the present, which can be really good, right? There's kind of a correction-perfection theme going on here. But replacements of norms can also indicate the swapping out or the overriding or the clearing of legacies, old commitments, old contracts, and old, old journeys that you've been on that are being brought to an end because they don't serve. They are no good for you anymore. This can indicate the replacement of norms that we know are bad, but also norms that we don't know are bad. And so this is likely going to be something that, again, more often than not, you're going to be welcoming. You're going to be happy it's happening. But with Pluto retrograde for this 5-month period, there will be moments where some cognitive dissonance or even some personal challenges to lean in will come up. And you might also be dealing with some dramas from other people that may or may not care about whether or not a norm has been bad. In the second half of the month, we've got Mercury moving into Taurus, that 3rd house of community, communications, pacts, promises, commitments, collaborations, helpful third parties, and allies. And Mercury here is going to be speeding up the fruition of a lot of joint efforts, speeding up the fruition of joint projects, anything where you've been working with other people on getting something launched, getting something done. Mercury in the 3rd house can also indicate the moving up and the completion of a lot of contracts, commitments, and stories that do need to be fulfilled, but we thought we're going to take a longer time to fulfill. So be prepared. This is going to bring some jet fuel into your life. And we've also got the Sun and Venus moving into the sign of Gemini, which is your 4th house of home, family, living situation, home economy, as well as your roots. Now, with the Sun and Venus together here, Venus is bringing in a lot of opportunities to plant new roots in the home life, or when it comes to your living situation, especially when it comes to relationships. Now, for a lot of you, this could be a time where you are getting a chance to finally merge interests or to get closer or plant new roots with a romantic partner, or you may be finding that this is closing the distance in a relationship that has maybe become distant or has had challenges overcoming distances for whatever reason. This is also a time where the sun is bringing in new fun, new lightness, new levity into your home life, into your home world. And this is also a time where a lot of old shadows, old issues, old problems that have maybe just been a part of the scenery are coming up to be dissipated. And that's also going to be a theme of June for you. We've got a full moon in Sagittarius on the 23rd. And so this is also a time where your 10th house of career, upward mobility, status, station, promotions, and raises is also going through a major clearing, because the full moon in the 10th house is a graduation moon. And so over the course of the 2 weeks following the 23rd, you're going to be graduating out of a career path, a career commitment, or a career norm in favor of something better once that page is turned. And then finally, we've also got Jupiter entering Gemini, that 4th house of home and family, on the 25th. And this is the transit of the wealthy home. This is the transit of the affluent family. This is the transit of richness. When we have Jupiter go into the 4th house, this is opening up a year-long experience for you, right? It starts on the 25th, but it goes all the way up into 2025. With Jupiter in the 4th house, a lot of you are going to be getting a chance to live the high life. But it's likely going to come because of a lot of transitions, cash outs, cash-ins on things that you've been working on, and trading them out or trading them up for superior things. Now, a lot of you could be moving. A lot of you could be, over the course of this next year, finding out about opportunities to make big bucks really fast, to close a lot of home stories, home experiences, things that you've been carrying on. Home-based business operations, self-employment ventures are all going to be thriving during this time. And Jupiter in the 4th house is also giving you a chance to create a stronger core family unit. Jupiter's all about wealth, abundance, luck, and pleasure, but Jupiter also cares a lot about having the strongest family unit possible. And so this could be pulling in closer blood relatives. This could be pulling in closer to you people that you consider family, right? Chosen family, not necessarily by blood relation. But this is also a time where a lot of you are getting a chance to leave a territory, leave an environment, leave a space in your lives. Your whole family gets a chance to kind of scatter from it in order to plant your flag in a better kingdom, however that's going to show up for you. Even if you are in a space where you're kind of focused more on the money side of things, that new kingdom could be something that you create with that wealth. Again, this is the transit of the wealthy home, the affluent family, and so see what you can do with it. So that's what I've got for you Pisces people. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget my name is Nico, Son of Selene, and should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.